Your life.
All right, stretch him out a little bit. There you go. Assalamu alaikum. Say it again. Assalamu alaikum to the black nation, to the Asiatic black people, been dropped in the wilderness, North America. Allahu Akbar. I pray everybody's well tonight upon the circumstances. Enjoy this lull before the big storm. As I always do, start out with my prayer tonight. Prayer been working pretty good. Been having earthquakes over there in Japan. They got 15-foot waves on Los Angeles beaches, jumping all over the boardwalk, people running from the waves. You got plenty of rain in Southern California. They're going to have to stop that record. Understand it never rains in Southern California. Not no more. We got hailstorms and snowstorms getting ready to come through the Midwest to this East Coast. Pray you all get prepared. Say it again, get prepared. This is what's coming. So in the most holy name of Almighty God Allah, who came to us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, the great Mahdi, who was to come and has come to restore we who have been lost from our own kingdom of Islam. And they come to destroy those who have destroyed us. God, God, O Allah, we are thy people. Deliver us from our murders and we serve and obey thee all the days of our lives. And we teach our children to submit to thee, to that unequal love and mercy for thou. And thanks to you, O Allah, for making manifest to us, our enemy, the devil. And O Allah, help us to live the life and die the death of a Muslim. I bear witness no God but thee. I bear witness most honorable Muhammad Elijah Muhammad is your last and greatest apostle. Thank you, Allah, for this day. Thank you for this gift of life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I pray, Allah, for those that deserve it, put their divine hedge around the black nation. I pray for hailstorms, earthquakes, typhoons, high winds, snow to the rooftops, blizzards, cold weather coming down from the north. Devils killing themselves on the highways and byways and the skyways on our planet. I pray for freedom, justice, and equality. Take over time. All praise due to Allah, who come to us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, the great Mahdi. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum. Black family. This Saturday night is the mindset of the warrior. That's why I put my warrior uniform on tonight. I got my lapel pin, represent the sun, moon, and stars, and the Islam. That's our flag, representing that new world coming in. And when I came into the nation, you had to earn these pins. Now they sell them, Savior's Day. You know, they represented you had to kill 4 devils. I was talking about Bashi, that's what it said. Kill 4 devils. Go over the inside. If you get a few on the outside, that's all right too. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, black folks, How's everybody doing tonight? You know, I'm always pushing the rug. I'm always pushing, you know, and last week I think it was a very beautiful subject on the divine black woman. So remember, black woman, who you are. You the black Madonna. And there ain't no white woman up there that's representing the divine woman. That's you. All you got to do is remember that. Strive to move in accordance to your nature. And this subject actually fits men and women because we need the spirit of the warrior and the mindset of a warrior in our woman and in the man. Why the woman? By she, so she can help instill some of those characteristics in the seed of the soldier. Understand? Black man, black woman, and even for even children that's listening today. Because they have changed the social construct of our society, our behavior. The social engineering is going on full force, and you can see it if you choose to see. And all you have to do is just look at the public schools, look at the media, look at the social media, look at the curriculum in the books, how they are feminizing males and masculinizing women. You know, you have a choice to choose your gender once you get here. And I'm not going to get too much into this gossip, but this is the days of the manifestation of our defects, brothers and sisters. And the truth must be told, even with the little brother, Cat Will. For me, he didn't tell me anything new to you all. But this is the thing that we already know is going on that planet. And in Hollywood, amongst our people, how they have devalued themselves for things, the material world. You're bent over for some cash. Because the white man got all our wealth he done took from us. Instead of us forming and getting back together and taking back what belongs to us, we bending over, and then you want to be spokesman for the black people. Some of you women swoon over these bisexual men. Say it again, you all swoon over these old bisexual men. You like keep company with them, like being in their company, like chopping it up, chatting with them, and talking that girly talk. With a feminized black man, black women seem very, very comfortable with gay men. So you trying to be an alpha. Okay. But I'm gonna jump right into the subject tonight. It says, this is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was saying. He said, we shall go up in honor and respect black people. You see the black man, the woman in the gutter. But the messenger says the black man and woman shall rise up in honor and respect. But he also says this, and the white man shall lose all of his. You see it taking place on the planet today. all honor and respect, even for their flag, all honor and respect for their values. The so-called American creed, they throwing it out the window. But I realize Muhammad said, carry yourself in a upright manner. Be kind. Be respectable. Be honorable. You understand? He said, respect those in authority, whether they respect you or not. Be a civilized human being. Want for your brothers and sisters what you want for yourself, black people. But these people that's ruling the planet, you see why they have to go. And the original sin for the white man is the enslavement of black people in America. They're getting ready to pay their price. It's been overdue for damn near 100 years. Time is up. Look at the world stage. Look at the behavior. Make preparations. Look at the wars that's coming, that's here. Look how United States of America, the government seems to be a big sham. So you should ask yourself, who's really in control in the White House? Is it the Jewish lobby that has bought and controlled the Congress and the United States Senate through their APACs, through their Mossad agents that they have collecting information, negative information, keeping profiles on the congressmen and senators and powerful people so they can control them. Look at the situation in the Middle East. America is playing both sides of the road, supplying weapons to the Israelis, at the same time turning the other cheek of straight genocide. It looked like Hitler done returned. The only difference now is his name is Netanyahu. They so deep, America so deep and entrenched by the Israelis, they playing them dead into a war. Dead into a big, big, big conflict. And I realize Muhammad said this. He said, when the white man come out the east, out of Asia, this time, people coming back, gonna come back and think they will have prosperity again. He said, no. He said, this time there should be desolation. That means it won't be nothing. Those pictures that you see, of the desolation in Gaza, you shall soon see in America. But he said, my believers will not grieve, nor fear, or be without. In so many words, he said, that's why we got farmland. He said, we ain't no beggars. You understand? We doers. So make preparations, black people. Quit finger popping. Quit keeping hope alive and start doing something for your doggone self at this point in time. Don't be like in the days of Noah. You being warned. People were being warned. But he said, this is not going to be like in the days of Noah. Little town getting hit here, a couple towns over here. He said, no, this is going to be the whole damn planet. And Allah has come to destroy the wicked ones. Period. For those that want to stay up under the cross, what I mean by that, when you're up under the cross, that means somebody over you. You want to hold up this devil and this belief. But he through. period. The Israelis are forcing America to go to war. They killed Hamas, one of the Hamas leaderships in Lebanon, and they came back today and hit one of Hamas's top commanders. Say they would hit Nasrallah. They don't want to do it. They're going to do it. And America will have to jump in the war. Your babies, your children will have to go fight this silly war that a cracker named Lindsey Graham, the senator, talking all that big six talk about who we should attack. And they call him the old woman of the Senate. Meaning he ain't gonna bust a grape nowhere. These old white men that don't have no policy to uplift the American people. All they do now in the political process is talk about one another. Slander, confusion. You have a president of America that's supposed to be the commander to show you how raggedy they are. They change the command, is messed up, something going on in the government of America when your Secretary of Defense and you the commander-in-chief, you don't even know your Secretary of Defense is not on post, nor did the second in command up under the Secretary of Defense even know. She was over there in Puerto Rico on vacation. First thing comes to my mind with all the tension in the world, what the hell she doing in Puerto Rico on a damn vacation? This ain't the time to take no vacation. But old Slow Joe didn't even know, nor did none of his staff, as it been reported. They say the Secretary of Defense had to be readmitted and he's still in the hospital. But me, I can't understand that because in the military structure, and you the commander-in-chief, you have a protocol, how did that break down? You mean to tell me the Pentagon, the general didn't alert you, alert the president? Why would you keep that quiet? What's going on? American people, start paying attention. This government is in big trouble. This government is being very, very, very deceptive. This government is playing on the minds of the American people, saying one thing and doing another. You understand? But this war, they will not win. They're going to come back by the handful, but they're going to leave by the millions. And when they come back, the Asiatic black man, the Mexican, and the Indian shall be ruling America. Take over time. This is what's coming. But we got to get out of this mindset of division, separation from one another, separate from your enemy, not from one another. Message said, learn to do for self. That's the most valuable key for us to have. He said, starvation is coming. He said, it's going to get so bad that when you look at your baby, don't want to eat them, except for the believers. This is how bad it's going to get. And we're being warned. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, don't go to all of these places where people getting gunned down there. He done told us that years ago. But y'all still going. Waiting on that last day. It might be too late. Better follow these teachings of Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Muslims. You in the black community, some will, some won't. Or y'all won't have nothing to do with them Muslims. But shout out the old block in Chicago. The call of a done is went out in the whole block. They say the whole block and turned Muslim. Allah walk by. There's 2.2 billion Muslims on the planet now, black people. Fastest growing religion on the planet. And the only reason our people in America are not Muslims because they were turned out to the cross. That's why you follow the cross, black people. That's why you misunderstand the Bible, because you don't see yourself in it. Take over time. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump right into it. The mindset of a warrior. It says a warrior is what? Courageous and a fearless fighter who is persistently prepared for battle, both mentally and physically. A warrior is courageous and fearless fighter. This is the way the black nation got to come up. Who is persistently prepared for battle, both mentally and physically. We're not prepared to do anything in 2024 but get bomb rushed to go vote. Right? When you do for self, you don't depend on nobody but yourself. It says, a warrior, one who is skilled in combat and warfare and embodies certain characteristics such as honor, bravery, and strength. And this goes all the way down the board, brothers and sisters. And combat takes on many, many forms, not only physical, but mental, spiritual combat. Learn how to fight with knowledge. Learn how to fight with wisdom. Learn how to fight with understanding. Be honorable. But what we see in front of us today, black men, the majority of them that you see out in front of, that they place in front of, don't have no honor. They say, what does it mean to sell out? Well, I tell you what it means. All that other stuff y'all talking about don't mind up to do a damn thing. How can you give your soul away? For instance, when the white man know you could be dangerous, or you a soldier, and you put yourself in a situation where you can be incarcerated, you say you catch a case. You dangerous, but you're on the wrong side of the fence. You ain't out there fighting for freedom, justice, and equality. You're on something else. And when you catch a case, you sit down and say, look, we're going to give you 25 years. This is what you got coming. But we're going to give you a deal because we want Muhammad over here. Understand? All we need to do is come in and testify. And you take the deal. But how could a man know that the whole government of America know you have been broke down, that you a snitch? But the main part of this to me is the honor that one should carry within himself or herself. To never let anyone break you and take your honor and respect for self. And you can get back out and walk the planet and pretend this, that, and another, that it don't even affect you, but it does. Because you got somebody that always got something on you, but know they can pull that hope card anytime. You understand? You know you can be controlled anytime, for any purpose, for any need, for your enemy. Understand? You ain't really a real man anymore. Somebody got you up under their foot, up under full control. A lot of brothers get back out here and go back and doing wrong, but they're weak. But if they ever come close to danger or trouble, or the man pulled out on them and want to question them, they're going to give up that information because they're holding something on them that they can expose them to the rest of the brothers and the sisters in the public. You understand? How could you let someone have that type of control over you, brothers and sisters, and have something like that against you because you became weak and gave yourself up to the devil? Okay. Where's the honor and the respect for self to let your enemy have something on you like that? Look, it says, the state of mind that allows you to face challenges and adversity with courage, strength, and determination. We're going to all run into adversity. There's no getting around it. Well, where's the strength? And sometimes you put yourself in situations, being ignorant. See, a lot of us, well, I take myself out that picture, but just speaking in general, is that when you have to really face your enemy and it's just you, a lot of y'all punk out. A lot of y'all take the easy road out. And then the white man see that and put you back out here and place you. Like they place a lot of Negroes that's in the nation. They got a lot of informers in the nation. They got a lot of informers in the black community. They got a lot of informers amongst the street brothers that's out there doing what they do. Look at the young thug brothers. Look at how all them cats flipped. How can you come back to the world amongst the righteous is the key. You can go back amongst those devilish ones that are out there doing the same thing. They're going to accept you, congratulate you, and continue to be around you, but not the righteous. You got to go. Understand? And I want to say one other thing. Is that they did kill the Muslim brother out here on this East Coast. The little brother that turned Muslim, Brother Abdul, known to you all as Javante Davis, bought the property in Baltimore. They bought it one day, they burned it down the same night. What's going on? See, we got the spook beside the door in the black community, sitting right there. But he got to be, or she got to be smoked out eventually. Take over time. It says, the mind, and you have to have determination. You got to be committed to this at any and all costs. The mind is always focused on what? As a warrior, as a soldier, on victory. This is all we should be focused on, black people. is taking over and getting ahead. A different type of mindset. And we have all type of opportunities to take advantage, but we got to get in the right mindset. I say the right mindset. We have to want to change. We have to want to do for ourselves now. But you got to get focused. How you gonna focus every time you look around? Y'all talking about P. Diddy. How you gonna get focused when they always throwing out something else to bring distractions to you? Even with the Cat Williams situation, to me, it's a distraction. Now, we know all them cats was bending over in the damn way. But don't we want to be free? Don't we want to have ownership? Don't we want to have some power? Don't we want to be in a position to where you won't find 215 bodies buried behind a police station in Jackson, Mississippi? You got mothers holding posters, picture of their children. Is this the spirit of a true warrior? Hell no, they're a poop button. It said every decision is made with an eye toward what? Achieving the goal. Every decision we make today, brothers and sisters, should be achieving our goal of having freedom, justice, and equality, getting out from under this beast and serving him. We should be trying to serve and build and take care of ourselves and separate. I had bliss to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He say, you know, he was talking on the Save the Day program. He said, you know, I got my eye over in Indiana because I want to build an airport. Where our airport at? Who even talking about building that damn airport? Well, they ain't talking about nothing. Talking about these little rappers that running their little funky bus around. As weak as they is with the white man, they shouldn't be no problem with us. Say the truth about it, because you take them guns, slap them Negroes upside the head, they gonna fall in line anyway. White man got you bending over, taking deals, crossing your people out. Then when we see you in public looking ignorant and crazy as hell, we know you ain't on this list. It says, what it takes to be a warrior. What does it take? The mindset. You got to have disciplined training. They're fit, right? Fix. You got to have group operations, disciplined training and practice. But it starts with a single choice. And what is that, Bashir? Never give up. Never give up, black folks, black man, black woman, black child. That's why we as Muslim FOI be humble brothers, not aggressive, but be a fight to the death. Understand? Ain't no jumping on leaving. Oh, partner, got to go to the death. All the way, otherwise you done messed up. Gotta go, gotta go. Train hard. Keep yourself physically fit. But not only on the physical side, on the spiritual side, that's where we're weak at. We spiritually weak because we don't know, we don't know. You should train to do something at least 2-3 times a week. At the minimum, stay sharp. Master your craft. Now look, no matter what obstacles that stand in the way. Whatever the obstacle is, learn to overcome it. All the obstacles that's put before black people in America, all we do is cry in the wilderness, waiting for our enemy to give us justice and solve our problems for us, that which we can do for ourselves. That's why he look at us and say, boy, these niggas are something else. Look how ignorant they is. That's why they call us dumb. Because the very people they got bending over going up in, y'all sitting up in front of them when they put them back out here in front of the public, idolizing them. Think about it. It says, be willing to work hard and never give up. So we ain't working hard enough. You should be on 24/7 plus. Get that laziness about you, black man. Fathers are very important. We should be striving to build a nation and bring the divine law into the home. Father, you should be setting order and protocol in the home. You should bring honor to our flag. I ain't talking about that Star and Stripe because it ain't none of mine. You should be teaching your children to strive to build a nation. You should be bringing and teaching your woman who she is, giving that divine knowledge and wisdom. You're told to be the head. We're a division for the black nation. Our responsibility is bringing the black nation. Fathers, mothers, your responsibility is to teach. Your responsibility is to nurture and bring out the goodness in the black nation. Allahu Akbar. We'll move right along. Believe in yourself and your ability to overcome any and all obstacles. Be willing to work hard and never give up. Be able to face your fears and overcome them, whatever it might be. That's the way of a warrior. Quit fearing your open enemy and making excuses for yourself. It says, be resilient. That means when things go wrong, you don't give up. Like y'all give up on life. Like you all give up on things, give up on life because things happened to you in the past. Or you think something coming your way. But you got to be resilient and fearless. So let it come. One way or the other. I shall overcome. That means when things go wrong, you don't give up. And if it do go wrong, pick yourself up and do what? Continue on with the journey. It don't stop. When you're on a journey, there's going to be obstacles. We on a journey, we've been on a journey for 400 years in the wilderness of North America. Black man. But when you think about it though, we still coming. A lot of us haven't given up. We still pushing. We resilient. When we get hit by an enemy, we get up. We keep rolling. That's that honor. That's that pride. When they hit us, and I was able to get out, because I was coming. Hell, you think I did? Gave up, took my tail, hell no. Put that flag right back up. Spirit of warrior, ain't bragging, just backing. It said, persevere. It's about persevering when things get tough. You understand? Black man, black woman, black child. Yeah, things get tough sometimes. Things get tough around the home sometimes. Things get tight sometimes. The bills get tight. The money get tight. You get tight with one another. But what you do, you stick together and make it happen. Don't give up. Don't start fighting and backbiting one another, running away from one another. Hell no. Make it happen, overcome. It says, when you feel like giving up, remember why you started in the first damn place. And keep on going. That's the mindset you got to have, black man, black woman. In America, can't give up. When they kick the door in, don't give up. When they kicked the door in, they did kick the door when they came in and shot the little sister. They called them because they were having domestic dispute. She happened to have a knife, but the white man came in and seen the little sister in the back, and there wasn't nothing she could do. Instead of them de-escalating, they gunned the sister down. But I say to the family, don't give up, black family. Persevere. You keep going. Because they shall pay. Keep eye on the weather. Keep eye on the sky. Keep eye on the devil. The white man is watching as he died. Look, believe in self. Have self-belief. You'll be able to achieve anything if you have that self-belief. But we doubt ourselves too much, black people. Where did this come from? Huh? You're the best on the planet, the greatest of the greatest. But we lost all confidence in ourselves and waiting for somebody else to do for us what we got to do for ourselves. Listen. It says it's not about the circumstances. But what's it about? It's about the energy you bring to the table. Understand? Black man, soldier time. It said develop structure. Structure helps you reach your goals. Set up structure that always begins in the home. If you know how to develop structure, be organized. I know we're in the FOI house. Brother had that dresser, you have your shorts folded up, your socks, your t-shirts, all folded up, lining up, the shirts and all on the rack, all the hangers going the same way. You got your shirts, you got your slacks, you got your suit, you got your jackets, you got your sweaters, what have you, got your shoes, you walk into your closet, they all lined up. They can be color coded, whatever you might have. Being organized, organized mind, organized home. You understand? Organized environment. That's the way of a warrior. It says, develop structure, help you reach your goals, and reduce what? Procrastination. Quit putting it off what you can do today. Do it now, get it out the way. Take over time. It said, turn every loss into a teachable learning moment. Yeah, there's going to be losses sometimes. You take losses on the battlefield. Sometimes you can get hurt on the battlefield. Sometimes you can use a wrong tactic on the battlefield, but you learn. Like Hamas, for example, with all the things that all the time that the Israelis, the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force have been running into Gaza, attacking them, putting them up under siege for all these many of years, and they were taking losses. Understand? But they were resilient and courageous people. Understand? And they started to learn from their losses. You understand? They learned and they studied their open enemy. And they learned how to be effective just by taking them losses. It says, that leads to more wins down the road. Allahu Akbar. It says, break bad habits. You got bad habits, start throwing them out, brothers, sisters, whatever that might be. Learn to prioritize. What's more important? What comes first? What's the best move? What's the best tact? What's the best strategy? What I need to do, the steps I need to do to get there. Have a positive outlook. You can get put in the belly of the beast like we are. You can get locked up, but you have that positive mental attitude, knowing that you shall overcome. Why? Because you got that self-belief in yourself. It says, challenge yourself, both physically and mentally. Say it again. Challenge yourself both mentally and physically. This is the way you build yourself up. You got to push yourself. You got to build yourself. We black people in America have to do all these things. We're tired of just surviving. We are here to win, black people. It says, always strive to be better than you were when? Yesterday. Allahu Akbar. This is the mindset you got to have. Always strive to be better than you were yesterday. Whatever craft that you might have, master it. Understand? Whatever skill that you might have, improve yourself on a daily basis. It says, by doing so, you will become what? These are keys. It says, by doing so, you shall become what? Unstoppable, black people. If we start doing these things, ain't nothing they can do with us. Is it? This is the way. For self-development, this is the way that we can learn to overcome the obstacles that we're facing in America today in 2024. With all that we see that's coming, that's here, it's getting ready to be a big war, people. I've been telling you this for over a year. This is wartime. There's two wars. You got the physical and the spiritual war. And we intend to win both of them. Allahu Akbar. Take over time. Quit being distracted with all this foolishness, this nonsense. They got us up in people's bedrooms and all this old funny stuff. While the white man study making policy The white man is studied behind the scene, planning and scheming and making moves that will hinder our progress, to keep us separated from one another. This is the only way he can contain us. But if we take on the protocol and the spirit of a warrior's mind, where we dress it up and cover it down on all avenues, where we develop ownership for ourselves, where we develop an army that can protect our interests. And like Muhammad said, we don't need to carry no weapons. And like Muhammad said, I ain't afraid. He said, sometimes you see me, I'm by myself. Understand? Sometimes you might see me with my people. But he said, irregardless, ain't nobody gonna bother me. And if they do, he said, I might take care of them. Allah, wow. This is the way we got to start moving, black people. Uniting and coming together, throwing out jealous and envy, wanting to be the one. We all the ones. This takeover time. Moving right along. Ain't gonna be with you long tonight. See, we worrying about all these little things. And you got to understand this too. A lot of these world leaders are in conspiracy with one another to maintain and control the world. The world population. Chinese, the Russians. If you go back and study how they build up Russia's war machine to complement the military-industrial complex in America, you got to have an enemy. There's no need for building weaponry if you don't have an enemy. China is boasting about how powerful they are militarily, but they just made their top military commander now is a Navy admiral. And they say, well, why would China make their top military commander a Navy man, put him in charge of the whole military? Because that's where they intend to fight, on the water, in the sea. Understand? But they know, that's why we've been told that 7th Fleet gonna get knocked out. Because they know that battle gonna be out there in their waters. They're not worried about America landing in China and taking China over. And the Chinese military, you got to remember, they got a lot of people in their military. But how good are they? Well, in 1979, Vietnam defeated the Chinese army. Didn't know that, huh? They went to war because they border one another. They always having skirmishes with the Indians in India. But this military complex got to go. And I talk on these world issues because this is what operates in the world. Everything ain't domestic or national, international. But it's our time, black people, to come to a better understanding on the way we need to be moving in this planet and quit crying about what the white man is doing. I look at social media, all they do is posting all the damn terrible things that white people doing to black people. every day. Don't you think it's time for us to think about separation? We can't get along with these people because they damn sure ain't trying to get along with us. You understand what I'm trying to say? Overcome your desires. Don't let your desires be a weakness. It says, just think about it. At the end of war, desolation, so that puts an end to the hope of those who expect to see a great boost of prosperity after the war. It says in the day of Noah, the children of the Sodomites came out happy that morning, and that was the end. They saw a cloud making up. They just considered that was a regular rain cloud, but that was the end. In the Bible, the prophecies of Jesus in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, 38, 39, verse, for as in the days that before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. That sounds like us in America now. And Sodom and Gomorrah in the belly of the beast. In particular, black people, because all we want to do is party. All we want to do is go to a concert and spend thousands and thousands of dollars, and we behind the eight ball. We sitting on the bottom. And this is all we can think to do with our money until the white man busts your head, disrespect you, then we go to crime. But we're not trying to work our way up out this condition, are we? But we can if we try. That's the key. But look, in the time of Noah, the people were having parties as you are doing today. And that day was the end. In the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, they were so wicked they were willing to go to war with the angels in the house of law. This is how wicked we are today. This was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago. But look at it. Don't that remind you of the people today? Huh? Think about it. And I want to jump into this just a little bit. This is the book I'm writing. I ain't finished with it. Because I just got one of the first parts of it. But I'm going to give you a little bit of it. You all like to get a little bit of it tonight. I don't know. But I'll give you a little bit. It says, an elderly black woman asked, she said, you know, I want to ask God a question. While I was standing in line at a Walgreens, she was a cashier, and I had spoken to her previously about a month and a half before. As I was checking out, she recognized me and asked, are you Muslim? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, you know, my uncle is a Muslim, but he mean. I said, yes, ma'am, and left. I returned to Walgreens about a month later. She was working a cashier again, cash register again, and at this time she said, I want to know, I want to ask God a question. Why do black people have to suffer so much? She wanted to ask God that question. Then she said it again. She looked at me and she said it again. Why do black people have to suffer so much? I looked at her and said, you know, I know the answer to that question, but I couldn't just answer that question in a few words. There were other people in line. So I thought to myself, and I left out. But I thought to myself, I really know the answer to the question. She wanted to ask God himself. Now I'm going to tell you my story, how I became to know the answer to her question. Pop Keys. Once upon a time, one was born in 1952 in a small town on the Mississippi River called Alton, Illinois, the home of the great Lincoln and Douglas debate, the home of the Elijah P. Lovejoy assassination, the home to the first state penitentiary built in the state of Illinois. The cornerstone still exists today. Home of the great Passow bird myth. The home of the Robert Watlow, considered to be the tallest man on earth once upon a time. Home of the petrified man, and considered to be one of the most haunted towns in America. Born on September 17, 1952 at St. Joseph's Hospital, yes, I was. At 8 a.m., my mother and father were married when I came to the planet. I grew up on 731 Market Street, and it was right behind a factory called Duncan Foundry. You could damn near throw a rock and hit it. It was down the hill. The old folks sat out in those days on the porches while we as children ran and played up and down the streets and in the backyards, climbing hills, trees, going in the woods, eating that little clay dirt, picking blackberries, scouting, hiding and seeking, playing away, playing army games, going to the sand pit, seeing how far we could jump from the hills out into the sand pits, going to the river swimming. It was the Mississippi River. Going up the street to the Douglas School, swinging, playing softball, corkball, eating fresh apples and pears with some good grapes from the vine, fruit roll all over. I was able to go swimming in the Mississippi River, go fishing with our mom, or go down to the riverfront and watch. Just as I was a child, people were fishing and pulling in the big buffalo fish at that time. Poor white folks lived on the river in boathouses, and their houses were on stilts. They had them on big long sticks sitting out on the river when they come up and flood over pork crackers. When the river rose, they wouldn't get flooded out. We made our own go-karts and wagons, sip guns, learned how to shoot BB guns and pellet guns. Grandpa taught us how to shoot a gun, usually with a 22 pistol or a 22 caliber rifle. We go to the country. We go to the older brother's house to learn how to box. They have a boxing ring there in the backyard, set up in the backyard. We put the gloves on, box. Sometimes they got their practice in on us. I remember Butch. He's a much older brother at that time, was teaching me one day boxing skill, but he was busting me up because he was much older and bigger. He was having a good time at it, throwing combos and study laughing. But I didn't quit. Butch was a good friend of mine, eventually. I didn't quit though. We were into sports, track and field, baseball, softball, basketball, wrestling. I was pretty good at wrestling. I learned how to fight from the ground as well. We were innovative. We built our own baseball field. We cut our field out of the woods. We set up our own track and field course with hurdles, pole vault, broad jump, 50-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 200-yard dash, and the 440-yard relay course. At that time, measurements weren't done in meters. All the neighborhoods from all sides of town would come to compete. Just like a regular meet, boys and girls, we'd get that. We had a downtown that was my set. At North Alton, East Alton, Salute Park, and Mexico. Yeah, we had a spot called Mexico. Wasn't no Mexican though. We competed even in football. Some of those same brothers went on to become state champs in the 100-yard, 220-yard dash, and the 440-yard. Some set state records. My big brother, Mo, was a state champ, whole state of Illinois. Set the state record of 48-9 in the 440. Went on to the national, took sixth place, and went on to a scholarship, went to Texas Southern University, and became a national champ. They became national champs and dominated the Drake relays. That's in the album. When blacks weren't even allowed to compete. But when the doors came open, it was a wrap. Jim Hines, who set the world record in the 100-yard dash, attended TSU, Texas Southern University. He was on the team. The record at that time in the world was 9.9. He went on to play for the Dallas Cowboys. And another brother named Hartfield was a high jumper. He jumped a 7.3 in the high jump. The relay team set national records all over the country. But they didn't let blacks get into the Drake relays, but they eventually broke open the doors. Going back a little bit, I remember the old folk used to sit around at night in the backyard and tell stories around the fire. Sometimes ghost stories, stories about people who practice hoodoo, slavery stories. We as children weren't allowed to be up under elders. When they gathered, we had to go and play. I remember one night in particular, I snuck upstairs into the house while Grandma and Grandpa were outside around the fire with the neighbors. My grandfather would hide his old granddad, that's whisper. I think that was 80 proof. In the kitchen, you'd have to climb up on the counter and reach up on top of the cabinet. So one night, I tipped into the house and drank Grandpa's half a pint, old granddad. But before I could get back down the stairs, my head went to spinning. I got dizzy as hell and sick. I made my way back down to the stairs and out the house back to the fire. It looked like the fire was moving in a circle. I started to vomit. My grandpa said, "Boy, what's wrong with you?" All the others started looking at me, and somebody said, "That boy's drunk." Grandpa said, "Uh-huh. That boy been in my whiskey." Grandpa went into the house, into the kitchen, took a look. I done knocked off half the bottle. He didn't whoop me. He said, "Uh-huh, that's what he get. I bet you won't mess with no more." He was right. I was sick for 2 days. Alcohol never came my cup of tea. Allahu Akbar. My grandfather was a good man. He was built like a mandingo, tall, bald-headed, long arms, legs, fully cut, strong looking man. We would walk. He said, "Come on with me." We go to the Rock Spring Park. We be searching for herbs, picking poke salad. You see other elderly black men walking in the park, searching for herbs to use as medicine in those days. Black people didn't run to the doctor for everything. I remember when I had the mumps, and Grandpa took a hog jaw, boiled it, mixed some herbs in it, and then made a tea and gave it to us, because my brothers and sisters had it too. It worked. The same thing with the measles. Grandma, known as Nanny, mixed the salve using herbs, made the salve and rubbed it on our skin to stop the itching, and it dried up the measles bumps. It worked. I had a great childhood. I remember the time I got my hand caught in the wringer in the washing machine. Back in them days, I know a lot of y'all don't know nothing about that. They had a washing machine, you had to put your own water in it, but they had a wringer that spin around with two wheels like rollers, put the clothes in it, come through, you pull it out, shake it out, hang it on the clothesline outside. But he says, I had a good childhood. I remember the time I got my hand caught in the mixed wringer in the washing machine. People would wash clothes in the backyard, set up clotheslines, pour water into the washing machine. When they finish washing, you put clothes through the automatic wringer, slide the clothes in between these rolling pins, and they move to squeeze the water out. Being curious as a kid, I put my hand in between those pins and got my hand caught up in between it, but it would automatically stop rotating and you'd have to pull the handle on the side. Then they heard me screaming. Came out the back door, cut the damn machine off, pulled the handle. Didn't have to worry about me at that machine anymore. Lesson learned. I used to be a pretty peaceful child, so I didn't know a whole lot about being violent. And this is where I had some turning points in life. Doing a lot of fighting. You know, I wasn't no violent brother, peaceful man. I wasn't about all that. But I had a next door neighbor. Every time I came out to play, here he come, messing with a brother. I'm about 6 or 7 maybe. Might not been that old. This particular day, we was in the backyard playing. He hit me. I go to the house crying. I get to the back door, mom standing in the door. Boy, what's wrong with you? I tell her, Archie hit me. She said, go back and hit him back. That's what I did, with one exception. People used to split wood in the yard in those days. We had wood and coal burning stoves, cast iron pot belly stoves. They chopped wood with the axes, so when I got back, I picked up the axe and struck Archie in the middle of his forehead. He went to hollering and crying, blood running everywhere. Miss Cora came out the house. That's Archie's mother. Mom came out, all the neighbors asked, what happened to you? Oh, I'm standing there with the axe in my hand. I said, oh shit, to myself. This don't look too good. I used to cuss a lot when I was a child. I thought I was doing something and running around up and down the street cussing and playing while the old folks sat on the front porch watching us play. They used to say, that boy sure can't cuss. Hell, I thought I was doing something. Getting back to the event, Mom and Miss Cora got to arguing. She said, well, hell, he always picking on Junior. That's what they called me in those days. That's what they called me when I was a child. So Miss Cora called the police. Uh-oh. Ambulance came, took Archie to the hospital. Police showed up, asked what happened, wrote a report, and left. Archie came back later on that evening with an old white patch in the middle of his forehead, about the 7 or 8 stitches, but I never had a problem with Archie again. Understand? But we became friends to this day. I remember the time I got jumped by about 4 to 5 brothers. I'm about 10 or 11. They got me on the football field because we used to play on this big field. And it wasn't a real football field, it was a neighborhood field. We played football on it, and it was slanted. It was on the incline. You had to run uphill on the offense. Defense had a slight advantage. They could tackle you from a downhill position. Anyway, this particular day, they decided to jump me. And the reason being, I was not a follower. I was kind of independent. They ride around on big old bikes with those big green berets and call themselves the Green Berets. I wasn't interested in riding around town with bikes with big old balloon tires, calling myself a gang. They didn't like that. So they surrounded me one day on the field. Even a couple of my partners, Old Peach, that's what I call him, he was the leader, an instigator. He threw the first punch. They busted me up a little bit, but I walked away pissed, not crying. I swelled up, turned black. Now I got a black eye. I got to lay low for a minute. I didn't want everybody in town to see my black eye. Grandpa the next day said, "Come on, boy, let's take a walk to the store." That's the way Grandpa did. He would walk with me and teach me about respect, to always respect my elders, about having morals and values. He taught me one day about trigonometry. We were in the house one day. He said, "Come on, I'm going to show you how to squeeze water out of the rock." He said, "Go get the rock." I got the rock, gave it to him. He said, "Watch this." He took the rock and put it in his hand and squeezed it. Water came out of it. I said, "I'll be damned." I said, "Do it again." And he did it again. Water came out the rock again. Now I'm a little baffled. Now, because I know water ain't supposed to come out of rock. And he said, "Come here, boy. Let me show you something." He said, "All appearances are deceptive." Then he opened up his left hand and he had a sponge in it. He was teaching me on the art of trigonometry. Now, getting back to the story at hand, as we returned from the store, he brought a little snack as we crossed the railroad tracks, headed back up the hill to the house. He said, "You know what you got to do?" He said, "Wait until your eyes go down and get them back one at a time." This is Grandpa. I said, "Yes, sir. Sounds like a plan to me." And after my eye went down, I went on the hunt. The first one I caught up with was Philip. He stayed on the hill right above the football field. I caught him coming down the hill from the house. I didn't say nothing. I just whooped his butt. One down. A couple of days later, ran into Herbert. He hadn't been too long, moved up from Mississippi and going to jump on me. He was bigger too. Didn't matter. Busting him up too. Down two to go. The next one I called it was Jimmy. Now he was supposed to be my partner. Stayed on the same damn street. Caught him in the backyard at Gregory and Jean's house. They were the older brothers. They were in high school, but they had a homemade boxing ring in the backyard. Jimmy was there, and they knew what I was there for. Cause word had gotten around town, small town, about 40,000. They looked at me and said, you get in the ring, put on the gloves. That's what we did, toe to toe. Boy, we battled pretty good, but I got it. Only one I didn't get was Peach. He got away somehow. Swear to God, he got away. Man. Caught up with that brother. And he was the main instigator. He's a preacher now, or a deacon. He's a deacon in the church, But I never forgot about him. Never seen him again for all those years. And I still think about him. The one that got away. I still might get him, never know. I never forgot about that. The brother I had to church up, Philip, I had to save his life. We'd always go down to the river and swim. Myself, brother named Tuck and Philip, we went to the river to take a dip one day in the Mississippi River. Tuck and I floated out on the log about 200 yards or more from shore. There was an outlet that extended out into the river, so Philip walked out on it and jumped in and swam over to the log. He dog paddled anyway. He couldn't swim that good. When he made it to the log, Tuck said, man, we had a drop off. Philip panicked and started to swim back, but he started to panic. Even more then, he went under the water. I said to myself, damn. I looked at Tuck to see if he was going to make a move. Hell, he wasn't. He went under. I couldn't just let him drown. I dove in the water. I saw him, I swam to him and grabbed him. He immediately grabbed hold of me. Somehow he ended up on my shoulder. Now we under the water. And he locked his legs around my neck. Now I'm in trouble. As well, we sinking deeper. Now we in the river, both of us. I looked down and could see these little black swirls, and as we sunk deeper, he locked on me even harder. His eyes were bulging from his head. And I said, not today. I'm not drowning. You're on your own. I knocked him off and swam back to the surface, back to the log. Tuck hadn't moved. He had this grave look of fear and concern on his face. I grabbed the log, got my breath, looked at Tuck. He looked at me. Philip nowhere in sight. Still wondering, still under. Then all of a sudden, he popped up, thrashing and spitting out water. He had popped up close to the log. I reached out and grabbed him, pulled him in. We paddled back to shore. Later, Philip died in a car accident doing 120 in a Super B Charger. Ran into the bridge. He was highly talented and charismatic. Died at an early age. Brother, did he make it to probably a good 17? I don't know. I had another encounter with that river. We used to go fishing with our mother on the river. Sometimes she fished with a pole. She would sit on the river bank. Now this particular day, Charlene came, which was my little sister with us. It had rained the night before. So the riverbanks, part of it was soft. Charlene came over to the bank edge just to look at the water. But as she stepped to the bank edge, it collapsed. She fell in the river. She can't swim. She's a little girl. She's panicking. You can see in her eyes. You can see it in her eyes. But she's struggling, trying to stay on top. I went to the edge and reached out and grabbed her hand before she got pulled away by the river's current. While I'm at it, got another story for you. Another encounter with life. I live in Oakland, California, and I'm jumping up in time a little bit, and I managed an apartment complex at the time. It was like New Jack City before we took it over. But anyway, before I get to that story, you got to wait. I knew this sister that stayed next door in a high rise. She was gay, but we just talked about life. She was my friend. She talked about her life, her affairs, so on with me. Anyway, one day I get a knock on my office door. It was the police. They needed my help. This young lady was threatening suicide. She was going to jump off the building's ledge. I immediately went to her apartment building, police everywhere. She was about to jump. I say about 6 stories up. Standing on the ledge, she had asked for Bashir. The police standing nearby, they didn't want to get too close. They were afraid she would jump. She was crying, saying, I can't take it anymore. Her girlfriend had broken up with her. She was despondent and didn't want to live anymore. She was in love. I approached. She looked at me and I told her, you're going to be all right. Everything passes with time. Don't do it, I said. I extended my hand out to her. You're going to be just fine, sister. Come on down from there. And she took my hand and stepped down and she cried. I gave her a big hug and they took her away to the hospital to do an evaluation. Now getting back to where I was, to my younger days, I'm going to tell you how I met my best friend. I was in the elementary school at the time. One day in particular, my little sister Janice had an encounter with a sister named Lois on the playground, going back and forth to 2 girls. I'm just watching. But here her little brother come, Brother Willie, which also would become a good friend of mine, and the soldier in the field. Anyway, he jumped in their argument. And at that point, I had to intervene. So we got into it. He was a little younger than me. So the next day after school, Bobby's big brother came to the school to confront me. We around the same age, just went to different schools. He confronted me about his brother, and I told him, man, you know your brother, a hot-headed, and should have stayed out of the girls' dispute. No blows had been thrown, and I wasn't going to let him hit my sister. He was wrong because Bobby and I faced up, and he thought about it and said, "You right. We shook hands and became best of friends." That was one of the best friends I ever had in life and besides, bro, I'll get to that a little bit later. I had another good friend named Doc. He had that soldier in him. Athletic, smart, good thinking, charismatic, could sing, dance, ladies liked him, and he was loyal. A lot of times ladies like me would go to him and tell him first And he had let me know. I remember the time we got tested by a female. Her name was Debbie. Pretty, sexy. My first love. But we had broken up. But she still kept trying to hook up, back up with me to no avail. So she decided to get back at me. She tried to get with Bobby, my best friend. But we had a code. We never messed with each other's woman. She was trying to bring hostility between us. She said, I'll get him, I'll get his best friend. But Bobby came and told me, said, Debbie trying to get with me. And I told her, well, tell her to meet you at such and such place at such and such time. And when she showed up, we would both be standing together. And the sister came, and we were both there. She looked like a damn fool. What that did was let everybody know we tight. We cannot be played. Moving right along. We were compatible mentally. We were good planners together. We would make up plans 3 to 4 months ahead of time before we executed them. Highly organized. We shared, we looked out, protected our families. We checked on each other's family. If one of us was out of town, we did a patrol at night, ride through, make sure everything was good. If someone in the family needed money, they could come and get it. We go shopping in the city. If either one of us was short or didn't have the money, you could just say, get that for me. No problem. We were free to express our thoughts to each other. Except Bobby would be on the block drinking beer. At that time, you had quarts. He would do too much. And I would tell him, man, you need to slow down. Of course, he would get mad at me. And we would go at it right there, arguing. He'd tell me to mind my own business and to stay the hell away. To stay the hell out of his business. It would get heated. And here come his little brother Willie, dipping into our business, trying to side with his brother. We would immediately stop arguing, and Bobby would tell him, man, stay the hell up out of our business. And we go right back at it. After we was finished, we were right back on the square with one another. No hard feelings. We were brothers. Tough love. Understood. Dig? We stayed clean, like slacks, jerseys, banisters, Stacey Adams, and nice hats. I remember one time we put a mind move on the brothers on the other side of town. It was called Mexico. There was not a Mexican brother in sight. But anyway, we had come up with a plot to promote a show at the college, Lewis and Clark College. We're going to bring in the Barcade, the top group at the time. We put the plan together in early July. Bobby was to enroll into the college to become the student president of the Black Student Body Union. We knew that they had an entertainment fund of $15,000. The student union president had the sway over how to spend that money. Bobby, resident in August, became president of the Black Student Union. He was voted in. That was the first move. Second move, who could we book to come to the school and perform in the auditorium and be someone people wanted to see? So mind you, I wasn't attending the school at that time. We set that date for October for the show. We did promotion on all the radio stations, and it was on. The word got out in the streets, we were behind the promotion. We got word that the brothers from Mexico were grumbling. We didn't want it to get messed up. Bobby and I called a meeting amongst ourselves. We had to figure out how to handle this. Our solution was to have Bobby go over to the block and offer them a slice of the pie. Our money was going to come from the ticket sale and the door. We pay the barcades $10,000 and keep the 5 and make another 10 to 12 at the door and do the after party at the Civic Center. We told the brother they could have the sales at the door at the after party. They agreed. They had to pay the DJ. We took the concession stands, the sales of the food and drinks. They agreed. We made more money at concession stands selling drinks and food. They realized after the fact that they had got played, but it was too late. They tried to balk at paying the DJ, but they had to pay. That was the deal. We took that money and flew out of town and put together a deal. He was a good brother, never to be forgotten. Much love to my brother. He got shot in the crap house, run by people that he growed up with. He was set up to show you what type of brother he was. This part of the story I haven't gotten to yet. The government had informers on their payroll and killers. They brought in from out of town to sell drugs and to kill those they considered to be enemies of the state. This is what they did. But he got shot in the crap house, and I was out of town. I was living in California. When they came into the basement and started shooting, my nephew, which his name was Pug, was about 14 maybe at that time. Had flew in from Fontana, California, was on a summer visit. He was at the crap house with Bobby when they came in shooting, but Bobby could have taken cover. But instead, he put Pug in a safe spot and stood in front of him to protect him and took a bullet. He died a few weeks later from gunshot wounds. A true brother, a friend to the end. That's the way we were cut. All praise due to Allah. I'm almost finished. I ain't gonna hold you too much longer. Oh, I can tell you about the time we jumped off on the police and the powers that be. The police were very racist and brutal and corrupt. So was city government. They only had 2 black police officers on the force. One was a Reverend Collins and Detective Conrads. Straight tongue. They used to jump out on people, men and women, young and old. So one day 2 police rolled up on the block and jumped out and snatched a little brother named Dupree, about 13 years of age. And they on the block. On a manhandle and beat him up. But my big brother was on a break. He just returned from a summer break from Texas Southern University. He was a track star, state champion, held a state record, a leader, and highly respected amongst the street soldiers. So he stopped the police. All the brothers surrounded the police. Maurice Pittman, they called him Mo. He told the police, not today. They backed up. It was just 2 police officers. We knew they would be back that night. So a meeting was called. Come to the brother's house. Brothers and sisters showed up, met in the basement. We knew if something jumped off, the first thing they would do was come for the leadership. We just had that one meeting East side of town commanded their territory. North out in Mexico, up all downtown. Our area, everybody on board. We divided the town into sections. You move as teams, hit the substation, put out the lights. Use the brush and trees as cover. Took the high ground. We made Molotov cocktails, used anarchist books, used gunpowder, shotgun pellets, styrofoam, let them soak. Had rifles, shotgun, pistol, 45, 9mm, 30-30, etc. When the sun went down, we went to war, straight up, documented. We firebombed the substation, put out the lights, and put the city in dark all over town. We hit the substation, put the lights out, made the call to the police. There was a disturbance in Mexico on Highland Ave. It was a long street with trees and bushes all along the road. Brother set up a crossfire for the police where they came rolling down Highland Ave at night, 4 cars deep. They got lit up from both sides, guerrilla style tactics, hit and run. Brothers downtown took to the high ground. Police came rolling down Bell Street. Police got fired on. Brothers faded back into the dark and hit the trail, going through the woods. It was on my team. We went out on the belt line and firebombed the Biederman's furniture store. Brand new, $3.5 million. So it said that with $3.5 million store set to have its grand opening, we pulled up, got out, busted big showcase windows, lit out firebombs, tossed them inside, and watched as the shotgun pellets rolled across the brand new shiny floor. Like small balls of fire, the building lit up and it was a done deal. We left. Next on our list was the school superintendent building. Why? Because it was a racist school system. We burned it to the ground. Gunfire rung out all over the city that night. The night belonged to us, and everybody was willing to die. But we weren't fighting for but we were fighting for what we believed in: freedom, justice. And we were tired of being discriminated against. Every night, moves were made. During the day, we picketed the downtown shopping area, shut it down with the women and the young people. We were going to hit another target that same night. It got good to us. The police were afraid. We got pulled over. It was 3 of us, Tommy Haynes, Jimmy, and myself. They searched the car, didn't find anything, but they could smell the smell of gasoline in the car. It was in our clothes. We got booked and charged with arson. Tommy broke down and snitched. I was sent to the county jail at 18, $50,000 bond. I eventually made bail. Tommy was sent to the pen. I'm still fighting my case on the streets. I had a black attorney named John Welch, highly known and respected, well learned. Well, we learned Tommy had gotten turned out in prison. He had been down for about 8 months. Well, said, I'm going to break him down on the stand. This was at my preliminary hearing. He came back and testified. He took the stand and testified against me. Wells broke him down. He cried on the stand. They sent him back to prison. Wells told me he was going to get the case put on a docket call. Well, all I had to do was show up every month in front of the judge. This went on for almost a year. One day, Wells called me to the office and said, the case has been dismissed. Listen to this. The transcripts had been lost to the preliminary hearing, and the stenographer had died. Straight up. Think on that. Allah was with me then. I got many stories. They're all true. I can tell you about the time. But I'm not going into that part tonight because I've had you too long already. But this is a little bit of the excerpts. Oh, it gets even better as I go on. But I just want to give you a little bit of that tonight and give a little feedback on what you think about it. This is probably just the first segment. I might have to write 2 books on this one, maybe 3. Never know. So this is the way of the warrior. We never give up, brothers and sisters. We are highly committed men in this day and time. There are men. There are real, righteous, upright black men in America. The only one they show you is the fools. I look at all these solid brothers, a lot of good brothers locked up today. I read what a brother did 40 years, was innocent all the damn time. Understand what I'm saying? All these black men being locked up, being destroyed in the jailhouses and prisons of America, black people. We have to step up. For those who want to put all their cards in the political system, y'all go right ahead. Some people are afraid of Trump. Some people say, well, just take what the Democrats give you. I ain't taking a damn thing. We want the whole damn thing. Whether Trump win or not, it really makes me no difference because the die has already been set, black people. We the best of the best. You're the brightest of the brightest. The white man has no creative ability at all. That's why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad say, we're the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. He said the maker. He didn't say the creator. We made the earth and our universe out of the material that the creator produced. And everything the white man has come out the mind and the material of the original man. Take over time. Let me jump over here right quick with these top crowds. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. I like that black and gold. I play this black and white too, though. I play them all. Y'all get any color you want. These just some of the ones I'm showing you. But we got all the colors and some more besides. Tap in, pop keys, crowd seat 19. You can get that code. You can get that 25% discount. And also, with the picture on my podcast tonight, you see me with that with the jogging suits on. And they on, you got a 50% discount on them right now. Understand? I checked with my daughter and asked her how much they were. She said they was on top end they were 85. So they run them half price. Plus you paying the shipping and the handling charge, you about $50. Top and bottom. You get them with the hoodie, you can get them without the hoodie. They sharp. I like them because they got deep pockets. With a lot of sweatpants, you sit out, they got the short pocket, your wallet and shit fall out of them. But I like them on that left-hand side. They got deep pocket, but they got another pocket inside the pocket with zipper. Understand? You put money, you put phone, you put key, you just sit up inside the pocket, you good to go. They got good material, good stretch material, don't shrink up, don't knot up, and all that old type of stuff. Like some of that old cheap material, good stretch material, very elastic, very good. Getting to my goal, one. This will help you though. I'm fresh out. Uh-oh. I'll be taking it. So get you some of this gold, black folks. Now this is one of the best products on the planet. I'll tell you no lie. It's good for damn near everything. One thing I'm just concerned with the mind. Good for mine, so it got to be good for yours, I pray. Now, one of my favorites, this old silver bullet. Good to go. I hit it every day. Every day. I had nothing go wrong with me. I had no cold, no nothing. Understand? And if you all practice how to eat to live, you would rarely get sick. I ain't been sick and I don't know when. You can ask my children how many times they done seen their father sick. They can't tell you too much. Understand what I'm saying? Because I practice strictly how to eat to live. And I fast. I take that poison out and then I don't let my desires rule me. Understand? I don't let that sugar desire rule me. When I decide and I go shopping or something, I just don't buy it. I might want to later on, but I ain't got it. Do you know what I'm saying? Learn how to control your desires, black man, whatever that might be. You in charge of yourself. And also what I wanted to bring on tonight was, this is an excellent, excellent, excellent read. Matter of fact, 19 keys, I see if we got these on sale right now. $9.99. It was $40 enough. But they $9.99. Put this in your library. Brother, getting ready to start a book club. Understand? Get this book. Excellent read. Help you straighten out your thinking. Black man, black woman. See, my family, as a father, it was my responsibility to make sure I got them on the right path along with their mother. So now my family is serving. They serving the world. All of them. They serving the world, serving the black nation. In accord with the teachings of most honorable Muhammad Elijah Muhammad, striving to help uplift our people from the gutter, from the bottom to the top, from my sons to my daughters, all of them. You understand? Because that is one of the aims and purpose of a father. Father is so important. We set the standard, we set the tone, we set the direction for the black nation, on how we can be successful. Put that knowledge into your children and set them on the path. They can choose their own course on that path, but they're on the right path. You understand what I'm saying? And it ain't easy. I got a son locked up now. Next week, I'm going to get the information. I would like for you, some of you all, I want to take some of your time and send my son a kite. Just tap in with him, let him know, encourage him. Understand? Come on out there and be strong, be safe. Come on back home, let's take over time. Black folks. So I say, Muhammad. I say, Muhammad got the devil on the run. That's right. Run, devil, run. Up, 2, 3, 4. Take over time. Allah Akbar. That's the FY clap. Clap like white folks. Understand? So I appreciate you all coming in tonight. Give me a little bit of your time. Very much appreciated. Y'all make sure y'all tap in. Don't forget to hit the cash app. We build and we ain't trying. We build. Understand? And we had to help and work with one another to get the job done. Understand, black folks? Ain't no more sitting on the sideline. Understand? Let's contribute, let's support, let's work together, let's develop group operations. Yes, ma'am. What do you say, sis? I hear you.
So can the audience hear me clearly? I just wanted to say that Pop Keys has been doing this show for the past 3 years. And for the past 3 years, he's been consecutively doing it on Mondays, and he has not been putting out his Cash App. But when Pop Keys speaks, he's out here doing the research, he's reading the books, he's putting in the work, he's going into self in order to come to people, talk to people, and give you a gift. Everything that Pop Keys speaks about is a gift for you. You don't have to go to counseling. You ain't got to go to therapy. You ain't got to go to nobody else. You can literally tune into what Pop Keys is saying, and it can transform your entire life. If you got Netflix, if you got Hulu, if you got HBO, you over here getting subscriptions to things that are literally programming you and giving you garbage. But Pop Keys comes in here every single week to give to the people, and the least we can do is support Pop Keys on this journey, because this is a lot of hard work. And if you really want to support somebody and show your gratitude, you show them some love back, because it takes a lot of time. And what Pop Keys gives is value. And really, there is no price on the type of value that Pop Keys give. So I put up his Cash App because I had to tell him to put up his Cash App, just so you guys can support him, because he really dedicates his time, energy, and resources to give back to the people. So the least we can do, this is the least we can do. Pop Keys isn't even charging for this information, where this is some of the most valuable information you're going to get in life. So go ahead and support Pop Keys on that Cash App. Go ahead and support just through the code, using the code for Goldwater and Crown Z. We also have a new product coming in next Monday. It's going to be called Super Minds for Goldwater. But go ahead and drop that Cash App on Pop Keys so y'all can really, truly show y'all love and support, because the brother keeps coming back every single week. And he don't just come back saying nothing willy-nilly. He coming back with the truth. He coming back with power. He coming back with something that's going to transform you and your entire family. Peace and blessings, everybody. Assalamu alaikum.
I'm illegal. Is she right? But I'm gonna do this. This is what I'm here for. This is what Allah brought me to this planet to do. You understand? And I, been serving pretty much, when I think about it, all my life. Even before I come into the teaching of Muhammad Muhammad, I was doing my job. We was on the front line. Like I said, I always been on the front line. Whatever reason that might be, Allah always had me out front. And through all these trials and tribulations, I got plenty of them in my book. I'll read some more next week, but I did a lot of sacrifice, and I'll continue to do that till the day I die. Because that's the way I'm built. That's what I'm here for, to get the job done and to serve our people. Because this is the way we have to look at it. I'm not here to be the one. I'm not here for accolades. I'm not here to lead the world. I'm here to serve Allah, the Mahdi, and the most honorable, humble Elijah Muhammad, because I know what it takes to get the job done. I know how to raise a dead man to life. You've been teaching the most honorable, humble Elijah Muhammad. Unafraid, unabated, tried and true, been tested by your enemy, our enemy. Understand? And he can't do nothing but this. He can't do nothing but sleep by shit. Rod Muhammad. You understand? Cause soldiers recognize soldiers. Allah Akbar. Good night, black people. Stay safe, stay sharp, build up your survival kits in your homes. You understand? Because we are going to get hit. They are going to war with the Muslims. Remember, they going to war with the Muslims. You understand? We're up under direct attack. Brothers getting hit in America now. You understand? But they hit that brother out there in the East Coast. Y'all handle y'all business. Good night. Allah Akbar.